This is my tuna casserole. It's keto friendly. It's got lots of protein, a little bit of fat, hardly any carbs whatsoever. It's so easy to make. Welcome back. My tuna casserole recipe can be made with tuna or with chicken breast. I'm preheating the grill to 350 degrees. I've got heat on this side, and we're going to cook in the center indirect, or you can cook in the oven. I've got my induction burner on, and like every good recipe, this starts with some butter. The recipe for this is below in the comments section. I've got some onion and some garlic, and we're just going to saute that up along with some celery. And I've sliced the celery very thinly. I've got a cup of sliced mushrooms. I'm going to saute that too. This tuna or chicken casserole is very high in protein. It's 29 grams of protein in a tin, no fat. And there's about the same in a can of chicken. The noodles that I'm using, Zeroodles, are also 29 grams of protein. So it's a very high protein meal. Virtually no carbs. There, I like that. That's nicely sauteed. Now I've got a half cup of dry white wine. You could use chicken broth if you like, if you were doing a chicken version of this instead of the tuna. And I'm just going to put that in and bring that up to speed and reduce it by half. The white wine adds a really nice flavor to this. One more minute on that, but in the meantime, I've got a nice large pinch of dried thyme and some fresh cracked pepper and some Himalayan salt. Now how can we make this better? Heavy cream. That's a half cup of heavy cream, and that'll thicken up too. And I've got 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. It's an extra old. And we're just going to melt that a little bit. There, that's good. And I've got 1 tin of tuna, and I've kind of cut it into smaller pieces. So we're just going to fold that in. You can certainly double this recipe. And I've got some broccoli, 1 cup of broccoli, and it was steamed. It was cut small into small florets, and it was cooked. So I'm just going to toss that in. Just add a little bit of vegetables into this. And here's an option which we really like in this, and it's some artichoke. And there's virtually no carbs in the artichoke, so we're going to fold that in too. So I haven't had this. I'm 3.5 years into keto now, and I haven't had any pasta in 3.5 years. But I did stumble on to a really good substitute, and it's called Zeroodle. And I'll put it up here. But this is a dame mung bean. It's non-GMO organic, and this is a soybean. I ran out of fettuccine, so I put a little bit of the spaghetti in. But that's soybean spaghetti, and it's non-GMO organic too. So I'm just going to fold that in, and I pre-cooked it. And it's got the taste of real pasta. It's got that tooth feel when you bite into it. And this is looking good now. We're just going to toss that all around, coat everything. Now for the Zeroodles, I stumbled upon them on an online site, but I just checked a few minutes ago, and you can buy Zeroodles on Amazon. You can buy it through Walmart, and it's a really good alternative. And I'm going to look for an elbow pasta because that would be really good with this. Now, as I'm saying, this is 4 servings. That's what I put this down as, but I could sit down and eat half that. So 2 servings? All depends on how hungry you are and what your macros are. Okay, I like that. So I've got a casserole dish, and I just took some butter on my finger, and I just went around and I just greased the sides of it. So I'm just going to put all of this in there. And I'm just going to pat that down. Yeah, see, it's some nice liquid in there. It smells so good. The mushrooms and the wine and the cream and the butter So I'm just patting that down like that. And now for the topping, I've got some shredded cheddar and some pork panko. I'm just going to mix this up. Mix the two. Sprinkle it on the top like this. Adds a really nice crust to it. And now I've got some little pats of butter. They're probably half a tablespoon each. And I'm just going to just place them on top. That butter will just kind of seep throughout. And I'm at 350 degrees, bang on. I've got some tin foil. I'm just going to cover up the casserole dish. And I'm going to cook it indirect. About 25 to 30 minutes till it's hot and bubbly. I just put that right in the center because I've got heat on the sides. I'll see you in 25 minutes. Okay, that's about 20 minutes that it cooked for at 350 degrees. Then I took the tin foil off. And I can show you what that looked like when I took the tin foil off. And it was nice and bubbly. And then I let it go for probably about another 10 minutes just to evaporate some of the liquid and kind of crisp up the cheese and the panko, and looks really good. So let's have a look at this. Look at that. That looks delicious. Smells fantastic. Now I'm going to let this sit for probably half an hour before I serve it to let the juices pull back into the noodles and into the meat. And to serve this, I'm going to divide it into 4, and I'm going to put some in a bowl, and I'm going to suggest some fresh chopped parsley, some green onions, and maybe a dollop of sour cream on the top, or some pickled jalapenos if you like them. There's my low-carb version of tuna casserole. You can use chicken if you like too, with chicken broth. Or thanks for watching.